Yeah, we definitely have a decent piece of rain here possibility. We've had quite a few of these here in the past month, but they've been fairly minor, maybe a glaze of ice. And for some, another glaze is possible, but other areas could see a little bit more significant ice. We're talking like 2/10, maybe even more too. So that's what we got the alert day. And the thickest ice or the best content you can see is probably going to be north of I-90 going to 94 and even east of 994 going over the Wausau. That area is really susceptible where they could get above that 0.2 or even 0.3 of ice. So it's definitely going to be icy out there in the morning. The good news is our temperatures are going up, so it only lasts through the morning. There's your winter weather advisory. Really, it's kind of been a little bit later now, more like 3 a.m. to basically noon, given the later start, taking a little bit longer for the precipitation actually to reach the ground. But that's the area. And don't fool by just, we don't have a winter weather advisory south of La Crosse. Still some pockets of freezing rain, especially in the valley locations, maybe where that cold air settles a little bit better. That still will be a threat too. It's just we're not going to see a lot of accumulation further south as we go. So overall, if we look at really the icy road potential, as I note, this area, I've already kind of mentioned that towards Wausau and the other area towards Rochester. This is where you get about 1/10 of an inch on the roadways. You can see overall it drops off quite a bit as you go further south, and even further north too, it drops off too. So now if we look at the potential where you get into maybe a little bit of minor tree damage, we're talking about branch areas too. Once again, I also mentioned that area for Wausau, just east of Black River Falls, they could get maybe up to 3/10. Pretty significant ice for this amount of time. We'll see if that pans out. The other area is probably near Rochester too, and even Eau Claire has that potential to get maybe 0.1, 0.2, not quite enough probably to do some damage, but you're getting up there. So it's a more significant ice event that we had. And if you look at I-90 travel, there's a freezing rain potential, actually a little bit of rain starting, and then there's that period about 6 to 8, you get the freezing rain before then it turns into more just rain after about 8 a.m. before we really begin to dry off. Now, if you're looking further north to I-94, it's really all the way to about 9 a.m. You can see that freezing rain continue before we start to see it tail off. Getting up to 33, not really too high above freezing, but overall will be dry, and that should be enough to get roads to be wet or at least dry as we go into the afternoon. There's what's going on right now. A lot of that isn't reaching the ground. We do have the fog potential out there, so keep that in mind too. As I mentioned, here's that little bit of area. It's going to expand as we go throughout the night. The pink will be basically between I-94 and I-90. And then towards the morning, you're going to see this area begin to wrap around. And this is where the threat really becomes a little bit more intense between about 6 to 9, and especially for La Crosse area, we'll be right on that edge before we turn to rain likely by 8 or 9. And then as you notice throughout the late morning into early afternoon, it begins to push east. Really not much in the way of precipitation past about 10 a.m. And temperatures overall will be at or above freezing, so roads will be fine going into the afternoon and the evening. We do have another event we'll have to keep track of. This one is trekking towards Chicago. We have a couple of them Thursday night through Friday and Friday night through Saturday, so we'll keep tabs on those. That looks to be more of a snow or rain depending on the track. Overall, there's your temperatures, and we do have a mild condition Wednesday and even Thursday, topping off maybe in the 40s before it gets a little bit more uncertain Friday night and Saturday. As of right now, the best impact for that system is probably going to be south of I-90, but that could change. So definitely icy tomorrow. Could be some significant ice in some areas. But the good news is we'll have mild conditions through Wednesday, so that all those problems will be gone.
Walk and drive slowly tomorrow.
Thank you, Greg.